Hey, good morning. Martin Luther King Day. Hashtag MLK Day in the United States, and us just slightly north of the border here in Canada. We'll celebrate it too because he made a difference. He stood out for what he was made for. The greatness that was in him came out, and he paid a huge price. And this is our weekly shaving chronicle. Didn't do one last week because the weather was just atrocious, and it was just, I did an unshaving chronicle, which was interesting from the from the snow outside. But today is Shaving Chronicles Day. It's been a week since my last confession, actually just over a week, and I love this. I just would love to keep it, but I know that my honey hates it. I shouldn't hate it, but she prefers me without the beard. And someone said something to me on one of my selfies from last week. They said, "Wow, you look just like your dad." In fact, I had to stop and look and think, is that John? I went, no, it's Jonathan. And I was very proud of that. But at the same time, it's like, my dad was a big guy, like heavy guy, like over 300 pounds. It's like, am I looking heavy? Or is the fact that my dad had a beard for a long time? I don't know. What do you think, Teresa? But the thing is this, we all have greatness in us, right? When I was 15 and, I wanted to shave and I had this little electric razor, I could go for a week and my face would look kind of dirty, but I didn't really have any bristle. But I wanted to be, because I wanted to be a man, and I was 15 and a young boy with aspirations, right? And I grew this pathetic mustache when I was like 17, and I thought it was so cool. Anyway, here I am, I'm 54, and in a week I can pretty much grow a beard. It's very salt and pepper. But it was in me. It's in me to do it. What we choose is what we do with it, right? And that's where I'm going with this today, is that we all have greatness in us, like MLK had. We all have the ability to go out and make a difference in the world in whatever way you choose to do that. In a faith walk, in a political walk, in a family walk, in a friendship walk, we can all make a difference. Hey, Andrew, I was just talking about my dad. And, that genetic DNA is in you to make a difference. I have the genetic DNA of my dad, but I also have the genetic DNA of a Viking. From my ancestry DNA, I have a lot of Scandinavian in me. But the thing is, what do you do with those genetics? What do you do with that DNA? How do you make a difference in the world? And I can tell you, it is not easy. It is easier, like I did this last week, to stay at home for 4 days and not drive because the weather is so bad and you don't want to take risks. I could have done. I did have to when I had to, but I chose not to. And it's the same with our lives. It's the same with our business. We have a choice. We can choose greatness. We can go and make it the biggest difference that we were made to do, that we were destined to do, or we can play safe and stay at home. So, based on that, it is Shaving Chronicle Day. It's going to be a bit different because it's a wee bit longer, but I have no doubt that my friends at Dollar Shave Club's product will cut right through it. So, got to get this shaving club going, because I got some other things that happened on this day which is super interesting. I have a mirror here, obviously it's my bathroom, which I'm very grateful for. Anyway, let's get some nice extra hot water. I've had my razor blades soaking, so weeks worth of growth. Here we go, and look at that, straight through. Dollar Shave Club blades are just rocking it, I can tell you. So I use Facebook memories a lot, and what I like to try and do is see what I did on this day years ago. And in 2011, I ran my very first social media workshop in an art studio classroom, Bob Barrett's neighborhood art studios, and I had 6 people, and I did a 1-day live workshop on how to use social media for business. Sold out. I had a couple of people that I comped tickets to give me some feedback, but I also sold tickets. 2011, when most people were not using social media for business. In fact, most people, Facebook business pages didn't exist at that point. And then I look back, and 4 years ago on this very day, I joined a mastermind with a lady called Lisa Sasovich, and 4 years ago I flew to a city called Tucson I'd never been to, and went on a retreat with 100 or so people for 3 days. It's so interesting to go on a retreat. I was kind of nervous. I'm kind of a homeboy. I'd never joined a big mastermind before. I really didn't know what I was letting myself in for. And there was a Facebook group and it said to be able to do some ride sharing from Tucson to Phoenix, wherever it was. So, oh, sure, I'll ride share with a load of people I didn't really know. Suddenly there was 9 of us in a stretch limo going from the airport to a beautiful resort hotel. And these were all what we call seasoned sassies. Goatee. Yeah, no. Started to finish. Hey, hey, Christina. Hey, Jackie. So I got in this limo with 8 other seasoned sassies, and they were all talking sassy speak and talking about how exciting. Yes, Debbie is home, next door. She's very happy I'm doing this. And she got home just after midnight last night from a week in Mexico with our number 1 daughter. Well, number 1, I don't mean like number 1, but the first one, you know. Hey, Mona. So yeah, it was like, holy shit. I mean, with all these crazy women that I don't know, bless their hearts. Not that crazy, but Tracy Ingle and Ann Dickinson and Kim Eldridge, all these people that I got to meet. Many others too. And they have like award pins at this retreat. And almost there. Definitely not. Respect to anybody who has a mustache. I just don't think they work on me. Apparently nothing works on me according to my wife. Hello, my friend. So anyway, 4 years ago, joined a retreat, went to this retreat. They had this award ceremony for pins for achievements. I joined it in November. This was the January. I got 4 achievement pins in like 2 months. And I got to speak on stage in front of a group straight away. Like, oh, wow. That's long. Almost there, folks. Well, would you look at that? I think we're good. No cuts. Tell him my glasses back on to finish your story because it's pretty interesting. Yeah, and they talked about this business model being 3 years to 7 figures. And I went, 3 years to 7 figures. And those of you that know me, I'm up for a challenge. And I always want to be a rule breaker and try and do things differently. And I remember being at this retreat and thinking, I wonder if you could do it in 2. I already had an established business. We were doing, I don't know, low 300,000s. It was basically just me as an entrepreneur, and I was doing pretty well for that kind of money. And I set myself a goal. It's like, I wonder if I could hit 7 figures, $1 million in sales in 2 years. Anyway, 2 years ago on this day, again, I was at that same sassy retreat. I'll drop a picture later on. And I got a pin from Lisa that she hadn't given out very often, which was the 7-figure pin. So I did achieve from $700,000 in increased sales in 2 years using a model of 1 to many. You know, and this is kind of where this whole tell your story thing comes in. I've been very good at telling my story one-on-one to people. What I got to be very good at is telling my story 1 to many. So I started with a social media workshop for 6 people in a classroom. Tomorrow I'm doing a social media workshop for 5 weeks live through Zoom. I think there's 20 people, 25 people. I'm not really sure. I don't worry about how many people go into my bootcamp. I just know the right people are going to be there, and we're doing it anyway. So it's perfect. So if anything, the lower the group, the better ratio of me working with people. So MLK Day, Shaving Chronicle, smooth as a baby's behind again. And thank you for joining me. So my passing wisdom to you today is: are you willing to stand up for what you believe in? Are you willing to let the DNA greatness that's in you come out? To be a risk taker, to be a world changer, to let the universe just manifest what it is that you've been blessed with, you know, as a created being, to go out and do it? We all need to learn that lesson. And I'm watching it too, and I'm listening to it. And I'm excited for what this week's going. So bless your hearts for watching on this Facebook Live this morning. I know it's a holiday in the States, so bless you. It's a day of service. Hello. That's awesome. You're amazing. I love your pictures of what you're up to. Hey, Paul, hope you're back from Mexico. Debbie got back last night. 20 degrees difference in temperature. So yeah, it's all good stuff. So I'm just wrapping up. Shaving Chronicle is over for today. I'll post it on Facebook, save it so you can watch a replay. But be a game changer. Be a life changer. Be a world changer. And Fist pump, my friends. Bye for now.